just didn't let us go live.
Just literally technology, innit?
Yeah. But we are live.
First time this year.
It is. Is anything different? I don't think it is.
I mean, you've got a different back setting. Is that
Oh, yeah.
sorry?
I have. I've got a new setting. I essentially have an office now. I'm going to rename me because, you know, that's far too formal, as I always say.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we'll get marking shortly. But, yeah, 2023, man. Fucking hell.
I know.
I mean, we're 15 days into it. Like, we're late with the first episode of the year, like, but it's just, yeah, we say we're late getting into 2023 and that, but we have actually got a good few actually lined up, haven't we? So,
yeah.
And it's 3 weeks away from our night. I'm excited.
I know. It'll be a good life.
Well, 20 days now, isn't it? Less than 3 weeks.
3 weeks now. Comedy show.
So if anyone's wanting tickets, it's in our bio. Get on Instagram. Go and buy them right now.
And also, you can pay cash at the door as well.
You can, but I like seeing how many people have bought tickets. So buy it online if you can.
Yeah. Got himself a little graph and that. Ticket sales and stuff.
Yeah. Just boss us and go. So yeah. We'll get the link over to Mark in a moment.
Am I doing that or are you doing
it? Either or, whatever. I'll do it. Save you because you're on your phone, so save you coming out of the Zoom
application?
and, yeah, and all that shit. Apparently now Zoom has apps.
Apps within an app.
Yeah. It's appception. But yeah, look forward to it.
Yeah. No, still. I'm live. I'm in Korean a little bit. We're inviting them in, man. You know, it gives it away when you say my name directly after it. Especially and I don't know it's laugh. So, I mean, people get to hear a fart.
I actually give you more views.
Me, when we do this, to listen to two farts talk anyway, so.
Pretty much.
Oh.
You're not even lying.
What? Is it when he heard it? You got a shock.
Traumatized. Yeah, I'm just giving him a bit of time because yeah, he said he would be home in about 25 minutes, about 25 minutes ago. So we'll just give him give him a few minutes, just make sure he's all settled and that. So
be home in 25, we'll give him 5. I don't know. I don't know how to check.
I doubt it. Okay, so YouTube doesn't have that feature. On Twitch, you can like press the number ahead where it says like 1 now on YouTube. On Twitch, you can press that and it'll tell you how many people who's actually watching.
You're on YouTube and on Instagram?
No. It's one through Zoom and that's all.
Are you not live?
We're live on YouTube.
We're live on YouTube. You can go live on YouTube.
And Twitch, but we're not watching Twitch. Gonna find my baby, gonna hold her tight. I was watching Anchorman the other night.
I watched Training Day last night. I haven't seen it for a while, so.
Watched that the other week.
Yeah.
Watched Get Out again last night.
Get out.
Get out. Get out of the chopper.
Can you hear yourself?
No.
Okay.
Heard that then, no?
She's put it on.
All right, okay.
No.
When everything's a little clearer in the light of day. Right, okay. I think we can send it over now.
Two people watching. Me and someone else.
Me.
Probably Quinny, because he's looking to see if we get any questions.
Thinking up was working on my appetite. I've got to stop singing Afternoon Delight before you get here. Sky rockets in flight. Pew! Afternoon Delight. Hang on. Yeah, just not nothing. No, they don't. Why don't they have news? I don't know. I'm not a zoologist. Not anymore, anyway. Mark, you ready?
He's
We are
ready.
indeed, Mr. Ewan. Okay.
I'm going off.
Right, go on.
Bye, brother.
Bye.
You're not even watching this now?
Right, what's up? Copy the link. Right then. I presume we will be joined by Mr. Ewan in a moment. Sky rockets in flight.
Late.
Nick, get all these out before he comes on.
Yeah.
Anyway, I can close that empty pane because that's just a pain. Open Romans, no. Close doc. There we go, that's better.
Yeah, we need to zip from.
Sit upright and proper.
Anyway.
Definitely don't make that noise on the podcast. I mean, technically you just did, but not on the bit with Mark.
Okay.
He's
sent
seen
them,
it. Yeah, he's seen it.
Cool.
Here we go.
Hello.
Hello.
Can you hear me? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, I need to take my beats on too. There we go. I think.
Yeah, you're sounding good.
Nice one. Can I turn it that way? No, leave it straight up.
Yeah, but whatever's best for you, mate.
Sit out with that, bro. I don't know if that's. I don't know how to turn my screen actually. There you go, my man. Should be good.
Lovely. How are you doing anyway? You okay?
Not too bad, mate. You?
Yeah, all good. Thanks for joining us.
No worries, man.
So jump right into it. So back end of last year, finished the year off strong. Wonderful win over in France at Aries 10. How pleased were you with that performance, and did the fight go as you planned?
I was really pleased with that, man, to finish the year strong. Obviously, going out to Aris, fighting in Paris, fighting a Russian as well. And as the way the fight went, I was happy with that. We kind of knew how that guy was going to come in. We watched a bit of footage. We kind of knew the game plan. I say this, but you never really know how someone's going to come in. But we knew he was going to come in with like throw every intention, throw some big lady kicks, try and get me on the back foot, so he could then shoot a takedown, get me down, and just basically lay and pray. But I put the pressure on early and never really took a back step. Sorry, I just kind of pushed him against the cage myself, and then started to get my shots off, and then put him away. That's really how we've seen the fight going. That's usually how I look at my fight score. I like to put the pressure on people, that type of educated pressure, make my reads, hit them with fakes, let them make some mistakes, and then usually I get the kill shot and finish guys off that way.
Can you talk a bit about the experience of obviously fighting in France? The sport's still quite new in the country. How was that experience overall?
You wouldn't think it, mate. You would not think that is a new sport over there. It was so I was thinking. Obviously, I've been to the UFC. I went to the UFC with Danny a while ago, and it was like a small UFC. The way it was run, really professional organisation. Sold out arena and stuff. When I was out and about in Paris, and people were obviously I was speaking English, so people realised I wasn't from there, and they're asking like, "What are you doing here?" I was like, "I'm here for Paris. I'm here for MMA. I'm fighting on Aris." And right away, everyone knew exactly what I was talking about. Oh, Aris. Like they knew. I think it must be quite common there. And obviously the show was massive. The promotion, it was 8,000 people, I think, that arena, and it was sold out as well. So you wouldn't really think that it's a brand new sport over there, and it's just been legalised. Obviously, I knew that going over there, but the fans didn't really act like that. It's like it's been there a while, and they're really passionate about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does seem to be evolving really quick over there. I think you've seen it with the when Bellator went over for the card. You seen what it was like then. So it's only good for the sport long term, I think, isn't it?
You know what I think it is? People like Cyril Gane and Francis Ngannou, like these big, massive stars who have come from France. Like when guys are that big and have that type of stardom, like it's hard not to look at what sport they're doing and kind of not even get behind it, but acknowledge it. Do you know what I mean? These guys have had serious stardom. Cyril Gane's all over the place, like going to like big football matches, and obviously Francis Ngannou is now a worldwide kind of superstars, one of the heavyweights ever. Do you know what I mean? So it's hard for it not to explode over in a country like that where you've got big stars like that kind of backing it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So before you had the fight with Aries, you fought at EFC 95 in South Africa. What was that experience like over there?
That was also a great experience. That's something kind of I've always wanted to do. We've had one of my teammates fought on EFC years ago, Danny Henry, and obviously seen him fly out to Johannesburg and fight in South Africa. I thought that was crazy. That's a crazy experience. I'd love to do that myself. And once I joined higher level, training for a bit with Danny, speaking to them, it was always one of my goals to try and get out there myself, and that kind of came to fruition when I went out and fought in July. And what an experience it was! It was great to actually get out to that side of the world, man, and see what it's like. And obviously fighting the EFC, that was also a very well-run promotion. The people, they were really nice. The fans also really passionate, man. The difference was where I was fighting, I would say, when I fought over there. I fought in so they've got a performance centre, EFC. Well, it's kind of like the UFC Apex. It's quite intimate. There's only maybe 100 people or something. So it was quite a small place where I fought. There wasn't like a lot of fans. Well, they're still passionate, but there wasn't a lot of them. Obviously, which is different from Paris, where it was 8,000 and they were all screaming. But I quite enjoyed that experience as well, where it was more intimate. And another thing, when I was in South Africa, they pushed the foreigners a bit more. Like we were doing post-fight press conferences, and like post-fight interviews, all that type of stuff. It was they were kind of like pushing us more. Whereas I was like the foreigner, like the guy they were bringing in, so they never really bothered to interview me or ask me too much questions. They weren't really asking me. Whereas when I was in South Africa, I was kind of like treated like a bit more like a star. where they were eager to ask me questions, and they were eager to try and push me and like do more social media and stuff like that. So that was a great experience as well. Both massive got learning aspects in them.
Are you able to actually enjoy these countries within fight week? You know, fight week's obviously a crazy thing. Are you able to actually take in these countries for what they are in that?
In a way, yeah. I'm not able to eat what I would want and try the cuisine of that country or whatever. Obviously, fight week and stuff. I'm not able to go out and I can go out and see the sights a bit. South Africa was different, mate, because that's a rough country. We were in quite a rich part, which is quite kind of looked after. We would only venture down to a mall, which is literally down the road. But the mall's got it's got like security guards with like big AK-40, like big assault rifles and stuff like that, because it's that type of country where you can't venture too far. I think they had like a 50% unemployment rate, so it's really, really rough out there, mate. We weren't venturing too far. I would be honest, probably get kidnapped and robbed and stuff like that. Whereas Paris, I could kind of go and walk about and enjoy that place. I went to the Arc de Triomphe, Eiffel Tower, just kind of see the sights and enjoy it. But as for on fight week, you can go about and see things and experience it. The only thing you can't do is enjoy the food, but you can obviously enjoy it after.
Yeah.
But they're both totally polar opposite type of experiences. Whereas South Africa, like I said, I can't really go out much. I can't really venture, but it was still lovely, and I liked it. I liked meeting people. I liked the place. And then obviously Paris, where I could go and venture. I had free will. I could go and walk to Arc de Triomphe from my coach, or we could go down the park. We could go to Eiffel Tower and see the sights and stuff. They're both kind of opposite in a way.
Yeah, that's good. Paris has its like freedom and that. So to stick with sort of the travel then, sticking with the countries and that, you've fought in 4 different countries, 4 pro fights so far, 4 different promotions. Are you open to sign with a promotion long term this year, or is the idea to still continue having these different experiences?
That's the plan, mate. I'd like to sign my major promotion and sign a multi-fight deal. Like you're saying, I've fought in 4 different promotions for all 4 different fights that I've had. The Ares show offered me a multi-fight contract when I first signed that fight with them. But I didn't really want to go for a multi-fight. I didn't really know where the year was going to head. I didn't know where I was going to be. So I just signed the single fight. But now that I'm 4-0, I want to look to see if I can get signed by a big promotion and sign a multi-fight, 3-fight, 4-fight, whatever. And then obviously go into venture into the UFC or Contender Series after that. But that's the plan for this year, mate. Sign a multi-fight contract with a big promotion. Whoever it is.
I was just going to say, do you have a promotion in mind, or is it just more about whatever's the best deal for you at the time, whatever's best for you in your career?
I've got a few in mind, but probably the deal is kind of the most important thing. I'd say, like obviously there's Bellator and that there's PFL. The UFC is a bit further down the line, but I'll definitely get there. Even Ares, I'd sign a multi-fight contract with them, I think, because they have 8 shows a year. They're guaranteed to keep me active. This is what I'm saying. It's more about the offer they bring rather than the promotion, because I need to be kept active. I don't want a promotion to sign me and then be like, right, you can fight March, and then we're not going to get you a fight until December next year. I'm like, nah, that doesn't quite work. Do you know what I mean? I want to be fighting every couple of months. You know what I mean? Like, I want to be active. You know, like I was saying about Ares, they have 8 shows a year. First show there's 20th of January. They're going to have another show probably like March time, and then like every couple of months to the end of the year. I need shows to keep me active. I want to just kind of keep ticking over and build the experience to keep fighting.
Yeah. I think they have one for February, I think, as well, don't they?
Really? Yeah, they probably will.
Yeah.
I think it's in a good place at the moment, though, MMA. Like, there is so many different promotions out there at the moment that are all doing big things and different things. So I'm sure you'll have no shortage of offers coming in soon.
Yeah, I feel like we're blessed now. MMA is like, it is fast growing, and a lot of these shows are now, they're fast growing as well. There's a lot more money, there's a lot more backing, a lot more exposure, and there's a lot more shows, so there's a lot more opportunities for fighters. Whereas back in the day, it was only like multiple shows, like a handful of shows. Now we're spoiled for choice. It's decent.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
So moving on to your actual fights themselves then. So you finished all your fights, bar one being a draw. Majority of those finishes being in the second round. is there a method to how you've been able to achieve that, or is it just how the fight plays out?
That's just me, man. I feel like my fight IQ is quite high. I'm able to read opponents, see what they favour, see where their flaws are, and I'm able to kind of download it quickly and see how to get them out of there. Whether it's submissions or KOs, you'll see in my record, I've got multiple of both. Any way I can get the fight finished, I feel that's usually the path that I go down and get the finish. I've got 100% finish rate. Even in my amateur career, man, I was finishing guys with a submission or KO. I just have that IQ, I'd say. A different type of IQ than most fighters, I would definitely say.
Yeah. Well, what I was going to ask, because obviously at this point now, you've been on a tear since 2017. You're on essentially a 13 fight unbeaten streak. You mentioned there about the fight IQ, but prior to that, you were on 3 losses. Did anything with that, like, was there like a shift that was created after those losses where you went, that's not going to happen anymore, or was it just literally experience?
There's definitely a turning point, man, but like there was definitely a lot of experience gained there. Like you said, I experience that I gained there, that's worth its weight in gold. Having 3 losses, knowing what it feels like, feeling the embarrassment, even just going through tough fights and feeling that. But there's definitely a turning point, and definitely a mental shift where I was like, right, I can't be going on like this anymore. There's something I need to change. I was training hard. I was doing other things. I don't really know what it was that caused me to lose 3 fights, but I just knew after the third one is it's not happening again. I'm giving my all with this. I'm getting my mind in sync. I'm training hard. But man, I don't know what it really was. It kind of, I can't really put my finger on what type of shift it was, but definitely I'd say a mental shift. I was like, it's more embarrassing. See, once obviously you lose 1, it's hard. You lose 2, you lose 3. I was like, this is embarrassing. I was like, I need to get the finger at, man. I need to do something about it, because I still believed I could go on and do it, and I just refused to give up. Like my journey wasn't over. I wasn't letting the story end like that. Do you know what I mean? And I just kind of kept grinding away, getting better, and just pursuing my craft. And obviously, the experience gains went on to pay dividends. And now I'm on this, like you said, 13 fight win streak.
Yeah, I think it's intriguing when, like, you see that, like, fighters that have been on a little skid and then they've come back and they've completely turned it around. Like, I'm just always curious, like, as it was the mentality there at that point that's, you know, made a change, or was it experience gain? So that's why I wanted to ask you about it.
Because it was so long ago, it's hard to actually pinpoint it, but there was a lot going on. I remember, like, definitely mental and definitely training. If you look at the way I lost 8 fights, it's mostly technical based. Like, the guys weren't willing to outwork me, and I wouldn't say they were even better, but they just had better technique and they were able to wrestle me. And at the time, I was at a gym where we never really done any wrestling, mate. I never knew what wrestling even was, so I was getting double legged easy. You know, where they shoot a double leg and I'm just falling over their back. It's just like green beginner stuff.
Yeah,
that happened multiple times in like the 3 fights. So obviously I went on to get better at wrestling, so there's experience getting gained and better, and even just the mental shift, like I'm saying, be willing to get up, even if I get took down, be willing to fight and get up and get up and get up and just never give up. So there's so much experience, so much gained from the losses.
Yeah. And what was was that part of the reason that you eventually went over to a higher level?
Definitely, yeah. Like I'm saying, I never really knew what wrestling was, and my first loss was to a guy from higher level.
Right. Yeah.
Martin Russell. I never knew what wrestling was. He was taking me down. I was like, "Fuck me, man!" It was just a total shock. But me and one of my teammates at this time eventually left the team we were at. He was getting ready for a pro fight, his pro debut, and it was just me and him in the gym. Just me and him, basically, and some beginners and guys that just come in for maybe to train twice a week, whereas we were looking at it as a job. This is our priority. We live and breathe this, and these guys weren't really taking that serious. And listen, I can't blame them. Like, they don't. It's not their full-time occupation. But I was like, we need to be surrounded with guys that actually are taking it serious and really do have a vision to go on and do well, and who actually prioritise MMA. And then the higher level was the only place where you could be surrounded with like-minded athletes who were pursuing a dream of being world champions and pushing each other, and had that teamwork and stuff. And obviously the head coach was tremendous as well.
Yeah. I mean, speaking of higher level, I think it was nicely on to the next question there. As I said, so you've been there for a few years now. Can you highlight some of your main coaches and how important they have been to your progression?
James Doolan, hands down, that's like my head coach. He's the head honcho. He's the boss. I'll forever be grateful for that man. He's showed me so much. He's taught me so much. He's gave me a lot. Taught me basically nearly everything I know. Do you know what I mean? I've been at high level for a long time now, and he's taught me an awful lot. There is coaches in the past, obviously, that I do need to pay homage to, like Alex Snedden and Barry Thompson, people that trained me first and got me into the sport. I'll forever be grateful to them. But for as where I am now, and the stuff that James Doolan done for me is out of this world, mate. And obviously I've got people like Kieran Reid. He's one of my main coaches now as well. But that's really just the two of them. I've got Kieran Reid and James Doolan. Like, they've taught me nearly everything I know, especially James. I owe a lot to him.
And can you just highlight some of the fight, like the young up and comers who we're going to see on like the regional scene, and like who we can, look to support them?
Got a lot of guys to shout out. So we've got Lorenzo Peretti. You'll be seeing him soon. You've probably already seen him. Sean Clancy, Paul Lally, Stephen Clancy, Tunde Lawal. High levels are stable, mate. Yeah, absolutely. Like, these prospects coming in, but we don't always get a lot of exposure online, like being up north, being in Scotland. But it's time we kind of get what we're due, and a lot of these guys are climbing through the ranks. Like Sean should easily be number one in his weight class. Don't know why he isn't he number one. Like, he's willing to. A lot of guys are ducking him. There's a lot of guys doing in England and Ireland that are just do not want to fight him, avoiding that fight. He was like me in a way, where he's struggling to get matches now. He's probably going to need to turn pro. His little brother Stephen Clancy, who's just won WBC Muay Thai World Championships over in Canada. He's a scary talent, that kid. Funny little guy as well. Lorenzo's solid. Paul Lally's coming through the ranks. Logan McGonigal. We've so many guys, mate. If you look at, like, go on my Instagram, or even just look at my team, man, you see all the guys. Like, every single guy I train was a notable character. There's nobody there that shouldn't really be there. Everybody there's taking it serious. Everyone's got a common goal, and it's to better themselves and be the best they possibly can.
Yeah,
I love my team, man. I'm really grateful for my team.
Yeah, also mentioned there, like you've got Stevie Ray, who's done well in PFL. You've got Keir Harvey, yourself. Can this year, do you think this year can become a standout year for the gym? Obviously, as you said, you've got loads of great standout fighters there, but do you think this year in particular can be a massive year for the gym?
Definitely. I didn't even mention the guys who are on like the level with me and above me. Obviously, Keir is a pro like myself. We've got like Luke Shanks who's a pro like myself. We've got Stevie Ray, who's him, Danny. They guys they're above us. They're the older guys. They're setting the tone for us. I didn't even go into them. I was only mentioning the guys that are kind of like a bit below me. And I don't mean below me in skill, but I just mean below us, like rankings and amateurs and stuff like that. But there's so much of us. But as in for a breakout year, mate, I feel like that should definitely be a breakout year for us, as long as we come out the gates hot and get. The problem is, mate, try to get our guys matched, mate. See, being up in Scotland, we've got one show and it's shit. I'm just going to be honest. On top, it's dog meat, mate. It's pish. The shows down in England, they know what they're doing. They run good shows, but the thing is, they don't always match your guys because we don't sell tickets, or they'd rather just have two English prospects, and it's annoying. It's hard to kind of get past that. So I'm saying Sean's maybe got to need to go pro because he can't get a fight. Like, he'll fight on any show in England. He'll fight any champion you've got at the weight class. But it's try to get him to fight him. Try to get your guys matched is a nightmare. But if it all goes well, it'll definitely be a breakout year. Like, we know, I think we all know that eventually, like, we'll get what we're due. Do you know what I mean? Just keep putting the work in. Eventually, people are going to be forced to fight us, or we're going to be forced to move on, and the recognition will be there. Because we're a team to be reckoned with, I believe. But the only problem is just trying to get us matched.
Yeah. Do you think with that success that comes with it, you could possibly see a change in Scotland and maybe more promotions for the amateurs coming up and that, as that success comes?
I hope so, mate. I've actually been thinking myself about running a show. Like, I'm considering running a show myself, just to give back to my boys. You know what I mean? To get them matched. I can easily just match some fights. I know some good guys in England, and I know my guys up here. I know it makes a good fight. It's not hard to be. Say it's not hard to be a promoter. Obviously, it is a bit hard, but some guys make it harder for themselves. You know what I mean? Putting up Facebook posts saying, I'm trying to match this guy. No one's going to jump at a Facebook post. You need to go directly to coaches and be, listen, I think this would be a good fight. What do you think? And just make it happen. Like I'm literally thinking about running a show myself just to help the guys in my team, because we're struggling to get matches. But Scotland as a whole, we're not as fast. We're not as how would I say this? As well versed in MMA as the rest of England and Ireland and Wales and stuff like that. Like, if I go down to England and I say MMA, people know what I'm talking about. They'll know right away. UFC, Conor McGregor. Whereas Scotland, I say MMA, people are like, what? I'll then need to say, oh, the UFC, Conor McGregor, and they'll finally get it. It's not as far yet, but hopefully we're doing our best to try and push it, and eventually it will be.
Yeah.
And then obviously with that we'll get better shows and better opportunities for our guys, but it's all coming.
Yeah. I think you mentioned it there, like Wales and Ireland. I think they've both got bigger regional scenes as well at the minute, which isn't helping. Obviously, like Wales have got like Cage Warriors Academy and stuff like that, and then there's tons of them over in Ireland. So, but I mean, if that's something you need to do, maybe to be a catalyst for MMA in Scotland, it's only going to be beneficial long term.
So that's one of my goals anyway, man, to give back to the guys and give back to my team. Like, could you name a Scottish show? Do you know any Scottish shows right now?
Not off the top of our head anyway, no.
How shocking is that? Do you know what I mean, bro? Like, there is quite a few, but they're just so irregular. And like, I can name them probably all, but there's some that are just dog meat. I would never put a fighter on. Like, it's just, they're terrible. And there's some that are okay, but they're not consistent.
Yeah.
It's just not the same up here, man. And like, I could be, and I plan on being a catalyst and running my own promotion just to help and give back to these guys, because they deserve the opportunity. They're putting the work in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We'll happily have you in Liverpool up the Scots.
That's it, right,
man. So final question then, mate. 2023, we hope it's going to be a big year for the gym and for Scottish MMA in general. But for you yourself, what are your goals for the year?
Sign to a major promotion as soon as possible. Stay active. I want to get 4 fights in this year. Every year my plan's the same, to stay active and get as much fights as I can. The past 2 years has been shit. I've only had 2 fights, but it's better than none. This year, it's the same goal. Win fights, win them in dominating fashion. But the biggest one is to get signed to a major promotion. Get my foot in the door, and I'm gonna fucking boot it off.
Nice. I know you like having fights scheduled a few months ahead. Do you have anything in the pipeline at the minute?
I've nothing now, man. I'd let you know nothing now. We're literally just waiting. There's a few options there. There's offers floating about, but I'm just waiting for a special one, and then I'll announce it. I'm waiting on one.
All good, man. All good.
We'll look out for that news anyway, and look forward to seeing you in action again. But it's been great to speak to you, Mark. Again, really appreciate you taking the time out to have a chat with us tonight.
Thanks so much, guys. It was nice speaking to you.
You too, mate. Thank
all
you.
The best.
You take care, guys. See you later on.
And there we go, everyone. Mark Ewen. Nice to talk to him.
Lovely.
Didn't realise MMA in Scotland was so like obscure almost, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
So I think that's something for us to.
The talent they've got. It's
that's it. I mean, like Mark himself is going to help make it bigger. Then the guys we mentioned, Stevie Day, Keir Harvey, they're going to make it bigger. Paul Craig, obviously.
Paul Craig, Chris Duncan, who's just got in now as well.
Yeah, it's going to rise, but as I say, it's obviously not suffering as isn't the right word, but it's not being helped by the fact that, like you said, the promotions aren't the best up there. And as I said, like Wales have got Cage Warriors Academy. I mentioned there, that's just the one that jumps out to you straight away. It's got the Cage Warriors name attached to it. It's like
now it makes more sense when we spoke to Lewis Simpson. But he said he was planning that, you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
Like, that makes sense now as well.
Yeah, no. Oh well, that's something for us to start researching now, but trying to see if we can help the Scots out a little bit.
Yeah.
We're only little ourselves, but we'll do what we can. But yeah, thanks everyone for tuning in. This should be up on YouTube pretty much straight away, but the audio will be available either tonight or tomorrow, but we'll let you know when it's up. But yeah, thanks again everyone.